Well, we're back with Tennessee Valley this morning, and we're glad that you've joined us. I'm Dan Howell here with Ryan Farcelli and Rob Alderman, and we're just thrilled that you have joined us today for Lights, Camera, Cleveland.
That's right. We've got a lot of great movies starting this weekend, but I heard there's a rumor that you saw something this weekend.
I saw The Help,
Yeah?
and it was awesome this past weekend. I love The Help. You know, it don't have to have monkeys in it for me to enjoy it.
Sure.
And there were no monkeys in this movie. And then, Rob, you always give me a hard time, Rob, about...
Well, I've asked him to be quiet about this so you could tell us what you
Well,
thought.
he's certainly being quiet this morning. I don't know what's going on. But
Well, what did you think of The Help?
I love The Help. I haven't read the book. My granddaughter read the book, and she highly recommended the book. And I said, well, I'll go see the movie and then read the book. She read the book, and then she's going to go see the movie.
So you didn't take her?
No, I didn't take her. I went alone, actually. Went
Really?
by myself, yeah. And it was great. I enjoyed it. There were parts in it where it made me feel sad. There were parts where it made me feel like, yay! And what I liked about it, they didn't paint society in Mississippi with a broad brush, and it was one of those interesting things where they just told it like it was. You know, not everybody who had skin color like mine were bad people. There were some who had some racist problems. There were others who had well, they were just good people.
I can't keep him quiet any longer.
We talked about this on the
We
podcast.
did.
I'm surprised
think that there's.
you've waited this long to say anything.
Well, I think that there's a
it's
lot
early.
to say still in the film about these sort of situations. And a lot of people gave this film a lot of flack because it's fiction, and there's a lot of other stories that they felt were nonfiction, true stories that tackle the same issue. But I say bring on the fiction. Bring on the things that aren't real and can't really happen.
Right.
Well, I was telling Cheryl earlier, I was born and raised in the South, in Arkansas. And, Arkansas kind of juts Mississippi. So the culture at that time when I was a kid, I know you guys are smiling and thinking that I was ever a kid.
I just was surprised that
Sounds
it
like
was,
fiction.
It sounds like fiction. But as I watched the movie, it brought back memories of when I was a child, and I remember those times. And it was very much like the movie depicted.
Sure.
I thought it was a great movie. I think it's Academy Award material.
Well, there you have it. You heard it here first.
A lot of people think it is.
Yeah.
But it's too early. Nothing that comes out this early ever wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we've got a lot of movies this week.
Many.
Lots
Do
of
we?
good stuff. Yeah, we've got
Several.
4.
what do we've got.
What do you want to see?
We got 9 minutes.
Should
to
we
go.
start with what Dan wants to see? Because we know what you want to
Does
see.
it have monkeys in it?
Well, sort of. It's Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, Conan the Barbarian.
And if ever there was a monkey, I guess it was
Conan.
It was Conan.
Yeah.
Isn't this a remake?
This is a remake.
Wasn't Arnold in that?
It's a
once?
remake of an Arnold Schwarzenegger film from the 80s. Conan the Barbarian was the movie that really it launched his career.
Who did they get to replace Arnold?
They've got a guy named Jason Momoa, and he was from one of the Stargate television shows, and he was also on Baywatch. Which I know probably makes you very happy because I know that you are a huge fan of Baywatch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big David Hasselhoff fan.
Yeah, wouldn't miss a show.
Right. Well, this is directed by the guy who directed Pathfinder, which was not so good.
No, bad movie.
Yeah.
Bad.
So I kind of feel like this movie didn't need remade. The first one was very mediocre. Do we need to make another one that's just mediocre? I say no. So I gotta hate this one.
Yeah, I'm giving it a hate as well. I just don't think it's going to be any good. The trailers don't do anything for me. The actor doesn't do anything for me. To kind of put it in perspective, I think what's funny is I think that a lot of people are going to now go back and watch the original, and they're going to realize that it wasn't very good like everybody thought. Everybody thought that it was. I read yesterday, Ebert posted online back-to-back reviews, his review of the new Conan movie, which he absolutely hated, and then his review from way back in the day of the old Conan movie, which he loved and said was a masterpiece.
Interesting.
Really?
And I bet that nowadays he's probably going, wow, how times have changed. Yeah.
Well, we've also got One Day, which is the new Anne Hathaway movie.
Oh.
It's her and a fellow named Jim Sturgis who has rocketed to stardom like 3 or 4 times in his career, and it's never stuck. The last time this happened to him was a movie called Across the Universe, which was about all of the Beatles songs.
Right.
This is kind of an out there movie. It's kind of like a mainstream art house film. It's about this couple who, this boyfriend and girlfriend, who they end up sleeping together on their graduation day from college. And then the movie basically shows that day each year for the rest of their lives. And so we visit them one day a year for the rest of their lives to see where they're at.
Remade in a different genre?
Well, they're not trapped in
the
time.
same day. It's that same day 1 year later.
Right.
And then that day 1 year later. It's like
And
the year anniversary
sometimes
of that
they're
day.
together, sometimes they're not. And we see how they grow old, as friends or as more or whatever. Yeah, see, this is the level of disinterest that I kind of have.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Sturgis isn't going to be famous after this one either. In fact, it's going to be a little bit worse. Anne Hathaway can make this movie.
Right.
She can do this sort of movie because she's already famous and can do what she wants.
And she's coming out right on the, she's got the
Right.
new Batman
She's about
movie
to do the new
coming,
Batman
so
movie.
she can do no wrong.
But this other guy, here's what's going to happen, is now this is going to be his life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Welcome
and we're
to
going to see
romantic
him.
comedy.
Right. What's going to happen is we're going to see him in an indie art house film 1 year later, and then 1 year later, and then 1 year
Is
later.
Anne Hathaway the one that does the T-Mobile commercials in the pink dress? The real cute little girl.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I use AT&T.
Me too.
Of course.
There's been a disconnect here.
Yeah.
Well, T-Mobile and AT&T. I segued completely out of the movie, but you mentioned Anne Hathaway. I was curious who that girl is who does those spokesperson type commercials.
I'm going to find out
For
next week. Next week we're getting to the bottom of
Or
this.
T-Mobile.
Okay, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, I thought
Don't worry.
It may not be. But anyway, that's 2 down. We got 2 to go.
2 more. All right, next up, Spy Kids 4, All the Time in the World.
I got to see that.
This is from the director of Machete, and the director of From Dusk Till Dawn, and the director of El Mariachi and Desperado,
And
those
the
that I
director
recognize.
and the director of Spy Kids 1 through 3.
and Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
The only one
Right.
I recognized was Desperado. That's
He either makes modern grindhouse films that are really offensive and awful,
Right.
or he makes children's movies for his kids.
okay.
And this happens to be one of his. And interestingly enough, if you like crappy grindhouse movies, they say he's very good. I don't care for them.
I really like Desperado and From Dusk Till Dawn.
And the kids really like his children's movies.
Yeah.
So this one is shot in 4D. It's
What's 4D?
It's Aromascope, Dan.
It adds
Aromascope.
Aroma.
You get a scratch and sniff card that you take with, and in the middle of the movie, you can scratch it and smell it.
Do you have to
and
pay extra for that
experience.
too?
No, but
Like
you do have to pay for the 3D that you're getting.
Glasses.
So you'll
Right. The film will be in 3D. Every one of your senses will be
Stimulated.
You'll have a scratch and sniff card that's like, it'll have a thing where like one of the characters in the film begins to vomit.
and
And
then you
at the
can
bottom of
scratch
the
the
screen will say,
Scratch now.
Scratch now, scratch now, and you'll scratch it to smell the vomit.
I'm not doing that.
No, but my kid will.
Yes.
My 7-year-old
Yeah,
is going to
it
eat this
would.
thing up.
Well, does this one have any monkeys in it?
No, but it does have Joel McHale from Community.
Okay.
It's also got Jessica Alba and Jeremy Piven in
Well, you
it.
can't go wrong
And
with that.
it's also it's got a ton of these Spy Kid movies are always littered with famous people.
They
that
are
show up.
delightfully campy, actually. Believe it
Yeah.
or not, they're not that bad. For what they are, they're actually kind of fun.
Right.
Escapism.
And this one's
That's
kind
what I
of
look
I mean, if there is such a thing as a highly anticipated Spy Kids film, this one is because it's been a long time since Spy Kids 3. So the original children are kind of grown up. So this is kind of a passing of the torch film. It's Spy Kids.
at. Great or hate?
I think for what it is, great.
Yeah, I give it a
Okay,
great.
All right.
So-
2 minutes to go.
All right, 2 minutes. The last one is Fright Night. Fright Night. This
The
is
remake.
also a remake of
Oh,
an
yeah.
80s film. This one stars Anton Yelchin, who was Chekhov in the new Star Trek movie. He was also Charlie Bartlett, if you saw that film. He's shown up all over the place. He's a great little actor. And it also stars Colin Farrell, who at one point we used to talk about being a great actor, and at some
Correct.
point he's kind of...
He just fell off the radar.
Yeah.
It's not that he made bad films; he just quit making films.
Right. So,
Yeah.
this one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot more comedy in it than the trailers are letting on.
Right.
The original was a lot of fun. I'm going to grate this one.
I'm giving this one actually a strong grade. Everything that I see about this film makes me want to see it more and more and more. It's a story about a kid who finds out his next door neighbor's a vampire. Here she's making the rounds on the late night shows with this, and I don't remember his name, but there's one kid that is being forgotten, and that's the kid who played McLovin in Superbad.
He would-
And people love McLovin. They love this kid. The character McLovin became iconic, and he is sort of the geeky friend of the kid who's the star, telling him, like, your next door neighbor is a vampire. You're going to fight him with garlic and wooden stakes and all this sort of thing.
And he is
It looks
all
great.
over the late night shows.
Yeah, he's making the rounds on this because in actuality, he is probably the biggest star of the three. He's
Right.
not the top billed in the film, but he's probably the biggest star. You
Yeah.
can't stop McLovin. I give it a McLovin great.
Great. So,
Two McLovins.
4 movies, all of them at Conan. Go see them all except Conan, right?
Yeah, I say don't go see Conan. You let us know how it
And
was.
I
I'm not
don't,
going
I
to
don't
see
even know
Conan.
that you need to see one day. Really.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no need.
Rent it.
No need.
So,
Rent it.
well, 50%. 2 out of 4 is not bad. We're out of
No.
time, guys. It's always fun when you come in. I'm glad you showed up, and there he is.
What? What do you mean?
And there he is. It is 7:30. We've got to go. Thanks to
I don't
Cheryl
get
for
that.
being my co-host today. Have a
just
great
rude.
weekend. Get out on the water. Do something outdoors. It's going to be a great
Oh, you see how he throws his boat and everyone's
I've
face
got
on
a
the-
boat.
Get out on the water, everybody.
Well, have fun. I didn't say a thing.
But I'm not inviting the Lights Camera Cleveland guys.
Hey everyone, let's get out on the water in our big fancy boat.
Goodbye.